Hi, welcome. Now I am going to show you how to use CountIFs function in array formula. Okay. What is the difference between CountIF function and a CountIFs function? CountIF function having only one if, that means the condition is only one condition. CountIFs function has multiple ifs, that means you have a multiple condition to be checked. Okay, if all the conditions are true, then only the function will count it. Okay, and what is the difference between CountIFs function and array CountIFs function? Because CountIFs function is accepting one criteria or multiple criteria on a single element. Okay, and that criteria is checked on every element in the full list, whereas in CountIFs function that criteria itself is a array. Okay, that is the difference. I will show to you in the example, then you will be very clear. Okay, now the data I explained to you. What data I have is the products and category and sales. Okay, so for each product I have a category and the respective sales. Okay, how many transactions I have about 277 transactions and one header. Okay, so 277 transactions, and the data is the products may be repeated, and also so does the category. Okay, according to that we have individual sales. Okay, so now what I have here is the categories old or new. These two values may be repeated here in the category, and for each product you have a category of old or new. Okay, this is, you consider this one as a batch, old batch and new batch of that product. Okay, so the what I have here is I'm going to have for each product, this is the master list of product, and for each product and category combination I want the count. Okay, how many times this product and the category is repeated in the whole list. Okay, I am not doing anything with the sales. I just wanted to count how many transactions are there for each product in each category. Okay, new and old. Okay, that's my objective. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you to you in a simple CountIFs function, then I will show you how to do the same example in the array CountIFs function. Okay, so I will type it for the simple CountIFs function. CountIFs function having a first criteria range and the criteria, so it can accept multiple criterias. Okay, and this criterias will be in two arguments. One is the criteria range, that means where to look for. Okay, which column to look for. Okay, and second is the criteria, what to look for, or in other words, it's the criteria is more like left hand side and right hand side of the equation. Left hand side is the column, and right hand side what value you want to put it and compare. Okay, so the criteria range one is I want to look it for the product, so I want to look for the product list. Okay, so because we are going to use the product list, category and sales again and again in these examples, I just give a name for the product range. Okay, so instead of I am using the range here, probably I'll show it to you in the range, then I will give a name. First I will select this one, this is the product, so this is where I'm going to look for the product name. So it is the product column which has 277 records. Okay, this is my full set of criteria range. That means this is where I am going to look for this product name. Okay, then what I am going to look for, I'm going to look for the product name Alice Mutton, which is in the cell E2. Okay, again another condition. This is one condition over this. Both arguments together gives this is left hand side is the full product list, and right hand side value, what value you want to look it for. Okay, again the next condition, the same thing, criteria range and criteria. Again, where do you want to look for this category new? Here in the category column. Okay, what do you want to look for? The name new. Okay, these two conditions we have written here. One is the name Alice Mutton, and the second is the category, which is new. So close it, enter. Is 4. Okay, this is the CountIFs function, which accepts two criterias and returns with the count. You can see here how many new in Alice Mutton. Up to this is Alice Mutton. New is 1, 2, 3 and 4 values, exactly the same. Okay, so what I'm going to do, we are going to do the same thing for next cell also. Okay, next cell is actually next cell, when we shift, the formula is also shifting, so the number may not be right. So now what we are going to do is we are going to do the same formula repetition in all the cells by using the single CountIFs function. Because why it is single CountIF? We are doing it for only for that cell, and we are not doing for the whole criteria range. Okay, so now how okay, now what I'm going to do, you have the criteria is already given, and the what needs to be the criteria range is already given. What needs to be compared there is also there, but the needs to be compared, or the criteria itself is a range. Okay, but for a single cell formula, you are going to write it in every cell. You want to put it simply E2 becomes E3 and F2 becomes F3 to give Alice Mutton and old. Similarly, next this one, anise syrup and new. So you keep on changing this value, the E column, but actually it itself is a array. For to solve this one, instead of writing multiple times, here comes the array CountIFs function, or in other words, you are entering the same CountIFs function in a array formula. Okay, how to do that? These two criteria itself is a array. Okay, so how to do that, I will explain to you now. Since when you are sending it, the criteria itself is an array, what happens, it's going to produce an array of results. It is not going to be the only one single cell, you see, because it is a multi-cell array formula. Because when you give this criteria only single value, the single value is compared here and find whether it is true in the product, and also the category single value is compared here and find whether it is true in the category, then it will count. Okay, but if you are giving this one is a array value, then it is going to take the first element of this array criteria as well as the first element of the category, and going to compare. If both are true, then it will return that value and CountIF for the whole set. Then it is going to do it the second value again. Then the second value when it's satisfied, that value is going to come in the second cell. So we need to give the Excel, when you try to enter the array formula, you also tell the Excel first what is your output cells, because the output is going to be a set of results. Okay, so first you select the results set. So you are going to set of results. So I'm going to put it in all the cells. My result is going to come in all the cells. Then what I'm going to do, now I'm going to write it in the first active cell of the selected cells, the array COUNTIF function equal to COUNTIFs, then criteria range. What is my criteria range? Where do you want to look for? In the product. Okay, what do you want to look for? The criteria is given here. It is also a range. Okay, this is the first criteria. Okay, actually this criteria itself is a range, so for every individual criteria it is going to perform the COUNTIFs function. Okay, now again the next criteria, range 2. Where do you want to look? Here in the category. Okay, I want to look it in the category. Okay, fine. What do you want to look? Which is the category criteria range. Now it involves the criteria itself is a range. Now we have put both the conditions. Close the bracket. Now you can see here the criteria 1 having 2 arguments. First where to look for, and a range of products. Okay, criteria. Then secondly a range of category criteria. Okay, so what it is going to do, the range is same, but for every element, the first element of criteria 1 going to compare first. The same time the first element of criteria 2 is also going to be performed. It will do the full range. It is going to do the COUNTIFs, then put the COUNTIF here. Then the second, it is going to take a criteria range of second element and criteria 2 of second element, and then do the same COUNTIF and put it in the second cell, and so on. Okay, now since you are writing a array COUNTIFs formula, it's an array formula and it is going to return a value of array, you need to enter Control Shift Enter, not just enter. Okay, just enter is for an ordinary formula. You want to enter a array formula, you must press Control plus Control, keep pressing the Control and keep pressing the Shift, you must enter. Okay, Control Shift Enter. Okay, then this way you are telling the Excel you are entering a array formula. I am doing it now. Control Shift Enter. Once you press, you will see the whole list is coming up with the values, how fast it is. Instead of you do a simple CountIFs for each cell, array CountIFs is so fast, and but it occupies a lot of memory also, but it is very flexible for us to do this one. Okay, and once you press, you will see Control Shift Enter. The formula is enclosed by braces. That means this formula is not a simple formula, it's an array formula. Okay, so now you can see for Alice Mutton, new is 4 and old is 9. Let's see, check how many old and how many new in Alice Mutton. Old is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Okay, totally 9 old is there. 4 we already checked, which is in the simple CountIFs itself we got 4. Okay, so for each product and a category, this is the condition. Okay, it gives the count, okay, the transaction count in the given data. Okay, hope this example is clear to you for this CountIFs function. And if you have any comments, suggestions, please leave it in the comments, and I will try to work it on it. And also here what we can do, we just add and see this sum is correct or not. It is nothing but a total number of transactions records. 277, which is our total number of records. Okay, hope this example is helpful to you. Please subscribe to my channel, and you can it's an encouragement for me to work on more problems like this. And please leave your suggestions and comments. Okay, and God bless you.